Alrighty fam, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking through all things Final Boss Trio. So this is a, not new boss, but a boss is dropped to do with the current update, the patch is what I'm trying to say with Summer Margaret. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through, I'm going to explain how I got my 4.3k points, the other team that I recommend. So we're going to do some high point strats, which is basically two different teams that I recommend you guys using. One is a little bit easier to do than others, so I'll explain both of them. And then the final one is also basically just some farming teams. But this boss is pretty straightforward, so there's not too much you really need in terms of farming. Just pick some decent units and you'll be fine. But we'll jump into the high point stuff. So let me explain kind of the ultimate team and then like another team that I used instead as well. So look, this is kind of at least the beginning of the start of the setup that you want. Now, the caveat here is you want Echidna instead of Merlin, right, with a Holy Relic. Now, this team is definitely harder to do because this team relies on you having Freya's Holy Relic, right, which is a Nidhogger boss, which is obviously a lot harder to do. It also relies on you having Nanashi's Holy Relic, and then obviously you have Ram, who's a free unit, and then you have Echidna with a Holy Relic as well. Now, the whole point behind this team is max stats, right? So basic stat increase, basic stat increase, basic stat increase, and then basic stat increase, or I think it's all stats increase for Echidna, right? So the whole idea here is you go in with full HP, right? Full HP with HP food, and you basically run this team. Now, you don't obviously have a hero in the fairy hero in the team, but you will get rupture damage on the enemy 5 times, right? You'll remove 10 buffs, or so you won't do this one, but you'll also remove 3 stances. So I will show you how this team works and like at a high level what it does and like what you should do with this team. But bear in mind, right guys, like you need to have Freya's Relic, you need to have Ram, you need to have Nanashi's Relic. So this one has definitely got a higher kind of requirement to have. Now, the whole thing here is basically you want to you want to get up to a point where you have 3 stance cancels with Freya, right? You want to have the ability to use the Rupture card 5 times. So I think you can use it twice against 3 people. So there's 1 stance cancel, so that's good. And then you basically need to build this up, right? So we're patiencing just because our stats are so high, because we've got the Nanashi passive in the back, right? So this one's really a build game. So I basically want to build it to the point where I have Rupture damage done and remove stances 3 times done. So all I'm going to do here is I'm actually just going to move some cards around. I'll use that just to get rid of it, and I'll just leave it like that. So the idea here is I'm kind of just waiting to get a, there you go, so he's buffing up more, right? So that's really good. So I'll use my Rupture card here. Rupture? Yeah, that's the word for it. So I'll throw this Rupture card out, and this should hit the 5 times. This will be 3 times, I believe, from memory. So should be able to do that. And then I'll throw that out because we can't stun, which is good. And then I will just leave it like that. So I'm hunting for more stance cards, right? So there is, where is it? It says 3 of my ruptures, right? So here it's just literally building this stuff up. One more, another stance card, so I'm on my way. Contemplating using this ult because I'm pretty sure mine at 1/6 does nothing. I kind of want to use it. And then I will do that because that should do nothing or very little damage. And then, because the trick here with this is perfect. I might kill one person here. I don't really want to. I hope not. I'll probably kill Wayleo. No, okay. Too much damage. So now I'm in trouble, right? Because I stuffed that up. Perfect. Oh, that's actually beautiful. So what we do here is now is the balance of having them in the right orders, right? So we're going to do it like this, and then I'm actually going to do that, and then that kind of allows me to get rid of this, but I don't really want to, right? Because I want to get the Rupture cards off. So I'm probably just going to have to leave it and hope I get a Rupture card. No, another stance card. Okay. So we might have to just deal with this because we're getting too many cards built up, right? So I might just use that, just to get me down. So I've got the 3 cards left. Right, so ideally I'm applying rupture damage, but it is what it is. Okay, now here I'm just gonna do that, and that's all I want to do because I want to keep the stance cards, right? So that I can slowly use them. And that was way too much damage. Way more damage than I expected. And he's going to take Steel Ultimate. That's perfect. Kind of glad he didn't steal. Good. If he'd stolen that Ultimate Gauge, they would have merged and I would have been in trouble. Good. So here I'm just going to do that. And then just get rid of them. So the problem is if your units are too high, you'll kill them too fast. See, my RNG has not been on my side. So here I can cancel that stance, and hopefully he stances up as well. He does not. Okay, so I'm waiting for him to stance, so I can cancel. Nope, there we go. I love this stance. This stance is the most ridiculous thing ever. Look at that. So then we just do 1, 2. I'm way too confident this kills everyone. So I better do that just to be sure. Like I said, ideally you want to get to this point before, like you use the rupture cards before you get to this point. Because now we're stancing before we're buffing. Alright. And lucky last. Cool. So that's that team done. Alright. So again, I missed out on the rupture, so my points won't be as good. Hopefully we should still be, yeah, so there's 4k points, right? So if I managed to hit the rupture as well, would have been even better. So that's the team with Echidna will usually help you get really high points, and you want to stall that out to use that as much as possible. Now, like I said, that is this team here, right? Which relies on a lot of difficult parts. As you guys can see, cheating, you'll see my team that I used was simply just the Goddess team, right? Nothing crazy about it, just put everyone on HP defense all the way across, and the whole thing here is just stats, right? So HP defense, HP defense, HP defense, all the way across. Then we have some HP food, sorry is what I'm trying to say. Max, just max everything, right? Just everything to get as high stats as possible. And here the trick is you'll need Sariel's Holy Relic, and then ideally Liz's Holy Relic as well, right? So those are both Deer Relics, which are pretty easy to get, a lot easier to get considering than the other ones. So my entire goal here is to get maxed out stacks of Sariel's, right? I want to max out Margaret's passive as well, but I want to get a level 3 of this. So all I'm going to do is basically use buff cards to start proccing the passives, that's 1. And then I want to try and get to the point where I have a level 3 Margaret card as well. So again, no real love at the moment, but this is okay because I can merge these. So again, it's a little bit RNG based, right, in order to get a higher points. But that's kind of just how these bosses are right? As you guys can see, it's a super easy boss, so it doesn't actually take that much, like, work. This should be fine. It doesn't actually take that much work in terms of killing them. Twigo takes more damage from goddesses, that's why he's taking so much. That's a good start. Now, I don't really want to... I want to save Tamiel ult if I can. And ideally, obviously, ulting with them is good as well. And this is probably the better thing about this team. Is that, you know, you can just keep ulting. You got 2 single target ults. So I'm going to buff up. I'm going to merge those. And then I'm going to just get rid of that card. So that's the second buff. Now, obviously, ideally, I would love to get a level 2 or another buff card when we get to the final part as well from Tamiel. That is a good start. So I just need one more Margaret card and I can kind of start working my way. That is good for me. Because we've got Liz in the back, so we've got no problems tanking the damage. Our stats are just getting higher and higher, right? Tarmiel's maxed out. I need to max out Sariel. I need a few more Sever cards. But for now, that will... So luckily this is still allowing me just to build up clear space, get a level 3 Margaret card, and like I said, I do need to hit crit more with Sariel. Perfect. That's the 2 cards that I needed. So, we'll do a check on how we're going in terms of the passive. So Tarmiel's passive will be maxed out. I believe Margaret's will be at 3, if my memory serves me correctly. Yeah, 3. So we want to get this to 5, right? So we'll get 1 more from this. So I need 1 more buff card. And I need a few more crits from Sariel. That's the problem. I'm only on 1 so far. Ideally, I want 5. So all this extra damage that I've done, it's not really ideal. I'm hoping that I can just do this. And keep going. Because I'll do the same on... do the same on the second floor as well, right? But they're a little bit less tanky on the second floor. And ideally, I'll just have this card, and then I'll just ult, and then we should be good to go. Let's see if I can... Let's just get rid of this. Let's go onto this. Good, there's a crit. That's nice. Cool, there's another crit. That's good. Didn't really want to use this, but that's okay. So, two more crits from Sariel, and then we'll be able to buff up, and then just finish this. Okay, cool. I can actually do that. You know what? I'm going to do that first, so we don't get the buff. And then this should put me at 4. Yep, that's 4. And then we need 1 more, which will be the gold one. So the reason we want a level 3 Margaret card, did way too much damage. Is because we want the increase in basic stats, right? So everything to do with boosting our stats is what we want here. Give me a Sariel card, please. That's okay, I guess. So I'm actually going to keep this now as well, because this is another buff for additional stats. We want the additional stats as much as we can when we get to basically killing, right? So let me do that. I do want to keep that. That'll do. Good, there's another crit. So ideally, actually, I wouldn't mind another Power Strike card from Sariel. That's good. Perfect. Now, I'm actually going to use this card and hope for a crit. And then we'll be able to go into the final fight here and just kind of finish off. So I'm actually going to do it against... I'll do it against him. I'll do that. And then we're just going to leave it. Damn. I was hoping for a crit there. Okay. Probably my fault. Shouldn't have trusted them. So I think what we can actually probably do, I'll do a cleanse, I'll do that, and then I'll do the final one. And that should trigger as the final part. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that, and we're going to do that. So even if this doesn't kill, it's fine. It lasts for 3 turns, and the other one lasts for 2 turns. So I'll be able to kill on the final in that next phase. But again, this is just a stats team, right? That's actually kind of perfect, to be honest. Because now it definitely will register the stats. I love the stances. The stances are brilliant. So that should be... Yep, so we're at 4. So we've got 55k attack, 1 million HP, 50k defense almost. 41k, 35, 776, 776. So like full stats here, right? Full passives here. Oh. And then full passives here. We have the stat boosts, we have the attack boost. And then what we'll do is we'll simply just finish off here. And that, you know what? We're going to use ult actually. And that should be it. So again, this is just a stat team. Build it up. 2 mil of damage. Very nice. Type disadvantage. These guys are really easy to kill. But then let's see. 4.1, right? So again, we didn't do any of this, which is fine. I'm not really fussed about any of those. It's just stats, 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 stats all day, every day. So that's the 2 high points teams for you guys, right? Obviously, if you've got higher stats than me, if you've got a higher box CC than me, or your units are more invested in than me and you run at a higher CC, when you're doing that fight, you'll get more points. But those are kind of the 2 strategies for it. In terms of like fast strategies, I've just been running this team. It seems to be doing the job. Honestly, you can run any team you really want for this, right? Because it's just fast. You could probably run Freya for the Abyss damage. I'm not sure if that works. I just run Escanor because he just does an insane amount of damage. I'm running King just for the additional like shield and damage. And then I'm running Arthur just for the, again, I'm not really fussed about the reduction in damage. It's more just like there to increase my damage. I'm still playing around with different teams. I did try with Roxy. Roxy's not that good on this. Just big AoE damage. You could run Trader Melee. Right, so we're just one-shotting here. And then that extra damage should hopefully kill. Yeah, there you go. So we just one-turn that for 1 ultimate. You could run Trader. You could run Purgatory Melee. You could run the Demon team. You could run Demon King. We don't need to run Demon King though, to be honest, because you're just dishing out so much damage, like so fast that he probably won't even get to proc his damage and his attack buff, right? So King for the shield, they'll never do any damage on me. And then if you get lucky with a couple of Escanor fingers like I did, you're away to the races, right? Maybe kill? Yeah, there you go. So we 2-turned it, right? Just without other damage, the King shield with the additional damage as well just does wonders. So, and that's that, guys. So that is my choices for speedrunning. Like I said, you can swap out Escanor or anything for anyone else. You know, if you want to push ultimate, he one-shots with the ultimate as well. Instead of King or instead of Arthur, you can run Trader Meliodas. You can run anything with a decent AoE damage will do a good job. You can run tier. You can run a Ragnarok team, but they can't be debuffed, so it kind of gets rid of like the weak point option for him as well as raiding Brunhild, right? You can run Freya with the unknowns. So you could run maybe Freya, Rem, Freya, Nanashi. Like that'll be a pretty solid team. You'd go through it pretty quickly there as well. I haven't tried that yet, but it could be good fun. So yeah, have a play around with it, guys. You don't really need to worry about how beating it in difficulty wise. It's a 2-turner, it's a 3-turner. It's pretty straightforward. But those are also the options for the high points. So I hope that helps. If you guys have obviously any questions, let me know down in the comment below. Or if you found another team to try, also let me know. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And as always, I will catch you all in the next one. Thanks heaps.